Alright y'all, I'm going to show you guys how to install these Bushwhacker door jamb like guards. I forgot what you call them, but anyway, I'll have the part numbers and everything listed in the video here. But I already installed the other side. I'll show you guys in just a second. They are much harder than I anticipated. I thought it was going to be kind of a quick 30-minute install. Definitely not the case. Let me show you the other side. All right, so the finished product should look like this. This is a 2012 F-150, the Super Crew cab, and anyway, it looks clean. I mean, let me open up the other side. This is the other side, and it looks great. I mean, I absolutely love the way it looks. I like the protection. There's a few scratches here on the actual paint. Not bad, but enough to bother me. So this makes it look just so much better. I'm using the original weather stripping here. Now, the reason why this became a huge pain in the rear is the fact that I have running boards. Many of you may have running boards, maybe you don't. And if you do, then you're in for a headache. The reason being is that these covers, they wrap to like under the truck. As you can see here, like it ends right here. And so here's a running board, and there's like two bolts that go through to the frame or to the body. And so you have to unbolt the running board. I just do one at a time, and I let it hang on one side, and I'll get one side installed, and then I'll put it back up, and then loosen up this side, let this drop, and then I finished this side. And so it ended up being a lot more complicated. The holes that these have, it may have been my fault, I don't know, but they didn't line up quite well. Lined up well in the back here, but not so much here on the front. So the holes I drilled, which they're guided holes already, I had to slightly drill them a little bit bigger, and then I had to trim. You can kind of tell here, but I had to trim this side about 1/4 inch, and it ended up working out. But it looks great. And so, yeah, let's get to it. So I already removed the weather stripping here. It's not too complicated. It's not too hard. You got to use a tool like this, like a trim fastener remover tool. You can buy this on Amazon or a auto parts store. I've had this for a long time, so it comes in handy. And that's how I remove these. You just slide this right in like that, and then you just pull away. So anyway, once you get all of them done, it's pretty simple. But the weather stripping's on here, so you have to like shove this tool in there and then pull away, and the weather stripping comes off. The hard part is once I have to remove the bolts. There's two up here, and then there's two that go on like the upper side that holds the running board in place. Then I'll loosen up that side as well, leave one bolt on, and this will drop. That way I can start officially working on putting the Bushwhacker cover on the rear side. Once this is done, I'll shove this back up, and then I'll do the front. All right, for the running board itself, you're gonna be using a 13mm socket, extensions, a ratchet. In my case, I'll be using a right angle electric impact ratcheting tool, but you don't have to do that. It's just much easier to remove the running boards using this, but I guess you can get away with just ratcheting it away manually. But anyway, I'm using a couple extensions, 13mm. If you don't have, like I said, if you don't have running boards like I do, this job will be substantially easier, as you don't have to remove these running boards in order to get it done. Now, I will be cleaning this. I used just some water, a little bit of degreaser I have up there, and clean them up real well. Bushwhacker includes some alcohol pads to prep the area, because you are using their, I'm assuming is like double-sided tape that they put on here, and then you're going to use their fasteners. Their plastic fasteners are going to replace the ones that came here from the factory, and those are going to fasten the weather stripping to the actual cover itself. And anyway, it comes with all brand new ones, so you'll be using those. All right, let's get to it. All right, and these are the 2 bolts that I'm talking about that are right under the running board. There's 2 more up here that secure it to the body, and the same goes to the other side. So since I'm working on the rear first, I'm going to remove these 2. Then I'm gonna go ahead and remove pretty much all of them except for one on the top here. I'm gonna loosen it, but I'm gonna leave it there. That way it doesn't come off completely. It'll just let this side drop, and I'll let that one bolt over there act as a hinge, if you will, because I don't want to have to try to, you know, put this whole thing up by myself. I am a one-man job here. So anyway, remove all of these, leave one over there. This will drop, and it'll allow you to, you know, put the cover up in here. You are going to be required to drill into the plastic so these bolts can go in through the cover. And anyway, that's how we're gonna get this done. All right, as I said, I'm using the right angle impact. You don't have to, you know, use one of these, but it'll definitely make it a lot faster and quicker. Remove those two, leave one over there. I'll show you guys how it's done. All right, so remove the top, the bottom. Now it's hanging loose. I ended up leaving that corner one up there. I took that one off, and then I loosened up these 2, and that allowed the running board to drop just enough so I can start cleaning under here. Basically, I'm trying to just really clean this side up so the double-sided 3M tape really like adheres to the surface. And I don't have any issues with it coming loose in the future, but anyway, that's how it should look. Now, I used shop towel, soaked it in that water with degreaser. And I just cleaned this, and some of that grease, oh my goodness, some of that grease should come off, or dirt and grease and whatever should come off. Use a microfiber to really dry this and make sure it's clean. You want to make sure that double-sided tape really adheres to the surface. But anyway, I'm gonna do the same here. Just really clean that side up. I want to make sure this has no issues with the double-sided tape adhering to the surface. So let's get to it. All right, once you use the solution of your choice and it's clean, now you can use the alcohol prepping little pads to make sure the surface is fully decontaminated from any just any contaminants that may be on the surface, and will give you the best adhering results from the double-sided sticky tape. Anyway, so yeah, once it's clean, use these. Make sure it's completely cleaned up under and on top. As again, you want to make sure this sticks as best as possible. All right, here we go. All right, once you have it cleaned up, you just make sure it's lined up. I already pre-drilled the holes. I should have made a video of how they look before, but they have little indentations, so it's not super hard. You just use a 1/4-inch drill bit. They're all there for you. You just have to drill them in, basically. But there's the last hole it needs to go to, and I just lined it up there. The whole thing should, there you go. So once it's lined up and going like that, go ahead and remove the double-sided tape. You just remove the tips of all the tape, by the way. You don't want to remove it all, like the entire red cover on the tape, and then you're going to start making a bunch of mistakes, and it'll be a nightmare. So you remove a little bit of the tips. I'll show you guys in here in just a second. All right, so the instructions are here. You're supposed to remove the double-sided tape, or just the whatever you call it, the cover, the peel. 1, 2, it just numbers it for you. And you're just supposed to bend it in the direction in which they indicate here. That way, once you mount it on here, it's much easier for you to be able to just remove them once this is already aligned and in place. I'll show you guys how I'm gonna do it. All right, once you have the double-sided tape, the little red film partially removed, it's how it should look like. This is the rear passenger side, and this is what the tape should look like before you mount it on to the vehicle. and this is gonna basically go this way, like that. So let's do it. All right, once it's mounted, it should look like that. You should see all the red little film from the double-sided tape stick out, so it's easily available for you to just grab it and start stripping it off. So I'll show you guys here once it's lined up. Now, again, these holes are not perfectly lined up with the holes on the truck, so I'm going to have to slightly re-drill a little bit. Like some of these are just slightly off, like 1/8 of an inch or so, and that's just enough to make this a pain in the ass to install. So I'm gonna have to go in here and try to just little by little try to re-drill, make these holes just slightly bigger to where the hole actually is on the body of the truck. But anyway, the way it's done, it's you just remove it just like so, like that. Now I'm not going to show you guys every strip of adhesion tape, simply because why do you guys want to be watching some dude peeling off tape on this whole thing? You guys get the gist of it. If you guys are tackling a job like this, you should be smart enough to know how to peel off tape. So I'm not going to go ahead and show you the whole thing, but that's what you're going to do on all of this whole thing. And yeah, we're pretty close to finishing up this rear passenger side. Almost forgot to show you guys, but they do have a series or a sequence in which these need to be removed. Apparently it's number 1, which starts off the top here, runs this way. Number 2 goes from here to there. 3 goes from the top or the edge towards the front of the vehicle to this side here. Number 4 is the bottom side there, right here, and that goes up and down. Number 5 is this one here, runs up and down, just like that one up here. But anyway, and then the last one is the long one that adheres to the actual edge of the vehicle. All right, just finished peeling off all of the red adhesive tape film, and it is officially on. Now it's the fun part. So now that this is on, it looks nice and clean, but as you can see, there's no holes to mount the running board. So I'm gonna mount the top with the top bolts first, since those are gonna go up here. And once I mount that up, it will line up the holes, the bottom ones at the top here, and that'll basically be like my drilling stencil. I'm not even gonna remove this, I'm just gonna keep it on. I think it's like 1/2 inch. I'm just gonna drill through, since I'm already gonna see the holes in here mounted up. I'm just gonna drill them in. It should be ready to bolt on. But that's what it looks like. All right, so as you can see, I did have to re-drill into this to make this line up with the truck. And as I can see here, we're close to about 1/8 of an inch or so. So I already know the front side, I'm gonna have to trim it. It's a pain in the ass, but whatever. I'm a little upset at Bushwhacker, but it is what it is. I'm 45 minutes officially into this, so time to do the front. All right, just bolted the top, and I have the bottom, well, obviously unbolted because I need to drill in. The holes are here on top, so I'm just gonna go ahead and drill through. It's gonna go right in through those holes, as you can see in here. There's 1, 2 of them. I'm just gonna use 1/2 inch, I think is what it is, and I'm gonna go ahead and drill that so this is ready to get bolted on. And actually, it is not 1/2 inch, it's 3/8 right there, and which should be just perfect for that bolt. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and use 3/8, not 1/2 inch. All right, just finished drilling the holes. You can see right through there. Bam, bam. Now I have to remove this once again so I can slide in these metal fasteners that are used so the bolts can actually thread in. So fun stuff, very time consuming. Once again, lining up the front, and I have to trim it. I have to trim it about 1/8 of an inch or so. It's a pain in the ass, but that's according to lining up this hole here, and I'm still gonna have to re-drill some of these holes a bit to make it all work. So yay, having fun. All right, so the way I did it is I lined it up to the edge of the other cover. I just used like an X-Acto knife, and it goes in pretty easy. Did the same with the bottom there. I'm just gonna go ahead and trim this entire side. Hopefully it fits. All right, so just got it done. The trimming, that is. As you can see, it does not look pretty, but it's 100 degrees outside with like 100% humidity, so I really don't give a crap. I just want to get this done, go back inside, and have some cold lemonade or something. So anyway, I'm gonna clean this up with a blade, just make it look nice and just clean with all these rough edges, and slap it on. I did forget to mention, you have to remove the double-sided tape that's on this side, because obviously you're trimming it. So I just removed it. I'm gonna put it back on, and wish me luck. All right, 1.5 hours into this, guys. It's officially in, and I lined up these three. These are decent, kind of okay, but then I really had to re-drill a lot of these. This middle one here is terrible. Bushwhacker had the hole set right in here. It was about a quarter of an inch to half an, or 3/8 of an inch or so far away. It wasn't even in. I had to find it with a with this little toothpick looking tool. I had to shove it in here and then kind of move it around until I found the hole, and then I knew where to drill. But the rest of them, again, I did have to resize or re-drill, as you can see there, to find the hole so I can put the weather stripping on here. The good thing is this terrible looking one will be hidden by the weather stripping, so I'm not too worried about how terrible this looks. But anyway, I'm gonna get this on. All right, so weather stripping is on, running boards are on. Now, all I do is I put in the inserts for the actual fasteners, so I don't have to do it up here. And then I have the little fastener screws that just get pushed in. So I just do it all at once, so I don't have to do it up here. It's a bit of a pain in the butt to do it. So I just do them all when it's off, and then I'm inserting in like so. And I put in a little screw in there, and I just do that along the way until it's done. All right, folks, officially done. All of the weather stripping is on. Put the new fasteners on this, as you can see there. Now, if you ask me, the juice ain't worth the squeeze, folks. Not on installation like this became such a pain in the ass. I mean, every step of the way, this thing fought me and fought me some more. This weather stripping ended up being a huge pain in the ass as we, towards the front, it just did not want to fit. It's just, I'm sweating balls out here. And so, it's finally completed though. Front, back. If you were to ask me, would you do it again? I'd say hard pass. Looks nice, but just, I mean, it's 100 degrees out here in Houston, 100% humidity, and this has proven to be just not worth the squeeze, man. The squeeze ain't worth, the juice ain't worth the squeeze. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, y'all. See you later.